One of the things I was wondering about is how are we going to deal with catching up the other ones, because there's always 14, it seems like, for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the recordings, so we could encourage them to watch the recordings.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because we don't want them to join the next group.
Mm.
Okay, so we will get started here. Sesta ayum tahatan metitni natanik or natasok natanik. Taok en meyetni. Okay, so what did I say?
Welcome to week 11 or to January 24th.
Yeah, it is January 24th. Of what month? Or January, yeah. It was the 24th day of January. And the Oaken Mayetni is what?
Monday.
Monday. So remember, the Mayet is the day and the Mitet is the date. And the Natanic is the month. Okay, let's continue on. Okay, welcome to week wuxa-TA, week 8. Tonight we're going to review the Ktunaxa sounds, vocal exercises, review 41 to 50 numbers, and learn or go through 51 to 60 numbers, review days of the week, months, and the 4 seasons. And then that's why Mara's saying that she's not feeling very good tonight and got bad internet connection.
Oh, I'm always ready to see Alfred.
We're going to teach you how to sing happy birthday in Ktunaxa. So, and I would be better off to have Lyle's dog come in and do the howling and sing it and teach you guys, because I got a really bad voice. Okay, so we will do the next slide. Okay, we're going to do the same thing as last week. We're going to have everybody say the sounds. Let's try along with me, okay? So it'll be, the rhythm is going to be cha, che, cho. We're going to speed it up a little bit. So, okay, cha, che, cho.
Cho. Cha, che, cho.
Cha, che, cho.
Cha, che, cho.
Ha, he, ho.
Ha,
He, ho.
Ka, ke, ko.
Ka, ke, ko.
Ka, ke, ko.
Ka, ke, ko.
Sa, se, so.
Sa, se, so.
La, le, lo.
La, le, lo.
Ma me mo.
Ma me mo. No.
Ma me mo.
Me mo.
Na ne no.
Na ne no.
Na ne no.
Na ne no.
Pa pe po.
Pe po.
Pa pe po.
Pe po.
You want that P to explode. I can't do it because of my my mouth, so it's gotta pop. Go hold the air in your mouth and just go pop.
Pa. Pe
A
po.
O
Yeah, good. That sounds good. Pa pe ko.
Ka ge ko.
Pe ko. Pa pe ko. Pa
Ke po.
oh. It's sounding better. I can tell you guys are starting to get it at the back of the throat. Sa si so.
Sa se so.
Sa ti to.
Sa te to.
Pa te to.
Sa te to.
Pa we wo.
Wa we wo.
Pa he ho.
Ha he ho.
Ya ye yo.
Ya ye yo.
Good. That sounds really good. The hard Q, I was pretty impressed with that. The key I believe is getting there, but because I can't say it right, I can't quite. Yeah, if you remember it's holding the air in your mouth and then just popping it out. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Yeah. So what we did this week, we put the words together so that you would look at the word and chaka. We're just going to do the words. Chaka, go,
Go
unkana,
Kana.
unkana,
Kana
me,
Me
ekos,
Ekos
nakot,
Nakot
hasek,
Sick
kemo,
Mo
pochok,
Chok
taskopas,
Super
kesnok,
Kilsnok
kupe,
Pay
toki,
Astoke
oka,
Koka
otmek, tahakno,
No
ese,
Say
So what?
Suwa.
Fu.
Plaswa.
Plaswa.
Lisa.
Lisa.
Osen.
Lucen.
Mark.
Mark.
Mitskik.
Mitchkik.
Mook.
Mook.
Naik.
Nahik.
Nixie.
Nisse.
No. Ktunaxa.
Nana.
We got the glottal stop in there, so no. Ktunaxa. No. Ktunaxa. Okay, any questions on that? And somewhere along the course, you guys have the English translations for those words. And usually what I would do is have a paper with these printed out, and then with the English word like chaka equals, the rose hip. So chaka equals rose hip. So chicko equals robin, the bird robin. So that's how I would do it. And yeah, that's what we will do with that for now. So trying to learn those words again, the blaswa, the la line are all names. Be frank, it's the first blaswa equals frank. Lisa is angel. Lucen is Lucy. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, 41.
Wumfa uki.
Okay. Okay, someone say the next one and then I'll say it after you. We're going to reverse it.
Hachan wumsa as.
Hachan wuxa-Þ�a.
Hacha wuxa-Þ�a.
Hachan wuxa-Þ�a.
Hachan wuxa-Þ�a.
I'm gonna go downstairs for now and try to brush my hair.
Hachan wuxa-Þ�a.
Possibly changes.
Hachan wuxa-Þ�a. Next one, 45. Hachan wuxa-Þ�a.
Wuxa in Misa.
Hachan wuxa-Þ�a. Yeah, Hachan wuxa-TA.
Hachan wuxa-ዄa.
Hachan wuxa-TA.
Acha.
Hacha
Yeah, Hachan wuxa-TA.
Ikunwo.
Yeah, Yikunwo. Okay, let's go to 51 to 60.
Yikun wumsha uki.
Yikunwom Sauke.
Okay.
Ikunwumsha'as.
Yikunwom Saas. Yikunwom Sakata. Or Kaksa, sorry.
Yegum wuxa-Þ�a.
Yikunwom Sakata.
Yiku wuxa-uki. Yiku.
Yikunwom Tlayiko. Okay, go to the next.
Ikunwumsla in Missa.
Yikunwom Sa in Missa.
Ikunwumxa.
Yikunwom Sa Wistasa.
Ikunwumxa wistasa. Ikunwumxa.
Yikunwom Sa wuxa-TA.
Yikunwumta Kai Kitwu.
Yikunwom Sa Kai Gito.
Yeah.
What kind of cheese do you want on watch? Yours is red.
Yeah, we did.
Imisanwu. Imisanwu.
Sanwu.
In Misanwo.
Misanwu.
Misanwu.
In Misanwo. Okay, there was a cent sign or the chest sound. I'm trying to think there was a word, oh, to get that cha, like wuxa-TA, if you remember the word mature, the word mature in English, that T and the U, or whatever combination that is, that makes almost the sound of the Ktunaxa cent sign, mature. Well, that's how I say it. I don't know that I'm saying it right, but that's how I learned to say it. Or, you know, so immature, you know, and I've always wondered, you know, is that should be that mature, or I've always heard people say mature. Am I correct or am I wrong? All right. So that's the would be the cent sign sound. Wuxa-TA, mature.
Acha. Uhacha. Uhacha.
Okay, so let's, I'm just making a note for myself on that. I found that in one of my notes when I was looking through my notes here last week. So I thought I would bring that up and help. Okay, we've got that. So we've got up to 60. I need 3 people to see if they can remember how to count up. Let's go to the next slide. Oh, go to, no, not that one. Let's go, let's keep going. Let's go to them. Yeah, there. Okay. Okay, what I want is about 3 people, or however you want to operate, count 1 to 10.
Ki. Uki. Az. Kaxa. Ha.
Hacha.
Cha.
Yiku.
Gegu. And Missa.
Imisa.
Wuxa-TA. Gaigetwu.
Tu.
Oh, sorry. That was me wrong.
Wuxa-TA.
Gaigetwu. Itwu.
Itwu.
Good. Yeah, that's good. So once you get the base and know the numbers 1 to 10, that gives you the foundation for 20. Like 10, it wom sa okay, it wom sa as, it wom sa kasa. Okay, so that's basically your base for knowing all your numbers. It makes it a lot easier to know the numbers. Okay, let's go back to the days of the week. Okay, Ksa Okinmiyet.
Ukenmiet.
Ukenmiet.
Ukemiet.
Ukenmiet.
Ainmiyet.
Ainiet.
Aimiet.
Kasanmiyet.
Katsamiet.
Aimiet.
Khatanmiyet.
Katsamiet.
Yikunmiyet.
Kainiet.
Inmisanmiyet.
Imisanmiet.
Glansanmiet.
And Kukatinmiyet.
Ukenmiet.
Okay, now my next test here is if you were saying the date, it is the first of the month, what would you say? Kses sa
Kisla.
What month?
Ukemiet.
no, not
Ukemiet.
It's
yeah, committed. So
Ukenmiet.
remember, miyet is the days of the week,
I'm okay.
and mitet is the date of the month. Okay, I'll just testing to see
yeah.
who's listening. So miyet, mitet, and natanik. So those three, you want to have them as friends. I say as friends in your brain. Okay, so the fifth day, the date is the fifth today. So that would be Ksa
Tariku. Oh,
Yikon
Umitted.
Mitet. Yikon Mitet.
committed.
Okay, any questions on that? It's just what we're doing now, we're just playing around with your brain and getting it to jump back and forth, which is good because we need to have that instead of being in the safe place. We start to challenge our brain to try and figure out, okay, we've been going nice and smoothly all these weeks into this nice pattern. So we're going to jumble it up a little bit here. But that's my teaching method. It's to challenge people to, just bounce off the wall, I guess you could say. Okay, let's go to the next one. Months of the year. Okay, the Ktunaxa,
Naktasok.
Natanik,
Natanik.
Ok, Gak kami.
Gak
Kami.
kami.
Osome.
Osome. Koko. Koko. Skomo. Kuku.
Como.
Sek Wait.
Quiet.
Yeah, there that Q needs to be a hard Q. Sick.
Okay.
We'll have to change that. Just make this sick white.
Quiet.
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 Quiet. Quiet.
Quiet.
Okay. Kos makako. Kos makako.
Macaco.
Pakpik. Pasok chukka. Damo. So with the January being Naktasok and December being Nestamo, is that our Canadian version or is that the US version?
Canadian.
The Canadian version. And what is the main difference between the Canadian and the US Ktunaxa or Ktunaxa version?
In December.
Post-Christian?
The Christians. Once the Christian religion came in, they switched over to, okay, the next slide. Yeah, they switched over to the people shooting and for December first prayers. And we haven't had that much interaction with the Southern yet, because the way I'm teaching this here, we're teaching the Northern way, and then also we are touching on the Southern Sanka way, so that people don't get into an argument about, that's not the way you say December, or that's not the way you say January. So we are teaching both ways, so that if you hear someone call January mit Chaltitnam, you'll know they are from the States. Or they say Kosmokosas Hamasis, first prayers. The only thing up here, we use that for the Merry Christmas greeting. So Kosmokosas Hamasis, we say Keso Kosmokosas Hamasis, which means, like in like Merry Christmas. And that was the only way that they could come up with, Merry Christmas. So, okay, so let's go through. You want to say it first, and then I'll say it after. Starting with January.
Mitahitnam.
Miss Hitnam.
Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Mitahitnam.
Ktunaxa.
Natanik.
Ktunaxa.
Every single one.
Cook.
Iko.
Mm.
Kakame. Me. Utumi. Utumi.
Otome.
Utome.
It's like a game where actually I connected it with it. It's like climbing.
Coco. Coco.
Koko.
Coscomo.
Quiet.
Quiet.
It's quiet. So when you say queso just made it, that just made this is part of that, is a different version of just made it. So, okay, the next one, September.
Makoko.
Macaco. October. Bake. Asok chupka. Cha. Osmokosas. Cha. Masis.
That one's really hard.
Yeah.
Can you say it again?
Osmokosas. Cha. Masis. The same sign XA, cha, is the verb for to talk or to speak. Chane, schanati. So we have that as the verb to speak or anything having to do with speaking or telling someone something. Schanatapni, he told me. Schanati, he told, someone else, them, her, him. Schani, he is talking. Yeah, Schanatapni, he told me. So there's all different forms of that scha. So one sentence, mat, Chakis means don't talk, a group don't talk, or be quiet, it would be another equivalent for that. Mat Tchakis. Okay, the other one was Nopko, so that is bear. What else? Ashok, I'm trying to remember. Ashok. Okay, Ashok Chetin. If you have that, just with that T without the K, T-A, hard T-A, wide L-U, Ashok with a glottal K, Ashok, and then a sunshine I, glottal soft T-I-N, that means the order, make a sound. And in our language, Ashok Chetin means blow the horn, blow the car horn. Ashok Chetin. So Ashok means to make a sound or and it's really not speaking. It doesn't say like speak, speak up. Ashok is just what an animal, I guess, would make, the whimpering sounds, the different grunts, or the cows mooing, the horses neighing, that kind of sound. That's Ashok. But we don't Ashok, we talk. That's the difference between those two. Okay, that just sort of extra to make more sense of the different months. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay. Akis kakot kakokot. Akis kakokot.
Kakukut.
Kishkakuku.
Ageshkakukut.
Akiskakuku.
Good.
That's the 4 season. That's a word for the 4 seasons. Okay, so we have Sumayit Namo,
Mayad Namo.
Akshokot Namo,
Aksu.
Namo.
Namu.
Shufnakot Namo,
Nakut Namo.
Wanoyit Namo.
Wanwet Namo.
So what seasons are we in right now?
Wanwet Namo.
We are in Wanoyit Namo. And the interesting thing here, when we say spring is here, we say in our language, it's described as, here's the ground, the earth. That means spring has landed. So my guac mohone, so my namo. And they never said like spring is here, dachas wache, which means, they got here, or spring is here. If someone came, I would say, let's say Mara was outside and coming into the house, I would say Dachas Wachi Mara. But our seasons don't Wachi, they don't come or got here. So we say they landed. So that's like for me, it's very important to teach those concepts because it was a totally different way of thinking for the seasons when they got here. And then one interesting thing in I'd heard and you know, in the springtime when we're all tired of the long winter and we want it to be over with, and then we get those spring snowfalls. You know, when everything is looking nice, and all of a sudden a snowfall comes in, and then everybody's saying, "Oh, why did it snow?" In our Ktunaxa ways, the old people said every time those spring snowfalls come, they're announcing arrival of another bird coming back. So that makes those spring snowfalls a little more, I'm gonna call it palatable, more acceptable. So when the spring snowfall comes in, then you wonder, okay, what bird, you know, is arriving? And then so you listen for the different birds. So that's just some of our things we've learned. They say they drag they drag the snowstorm in, the different birds. So okay, let's go to the next one.
Friend, what is the word for it's landed that you would add with spring?
Oh, Guac Mohoni, KWAK, Guac, MU, Mo, Ho, XU, NI. So KWAK, MU, XU, NI. Guac Mohoni, Sumayit Namo. So spring is here.
Waki for come, which it is, we don't put it with spring.
Wachi, if someone is going to visit you or someone arrives at your house, you would use Wachi Peter. Okay, it means Peter's got here. Peter's here. Peter has arrived. So Wachi is that, and that is not used for the seasons.
Thank you.
Sorry, Alfred, could you explain the Namu portion at the end again?
The Namu is, from what I'm understanding, it is either a group of similar either people or similar I know the Namu ending is pertains to, it's used in a group of people, let's say, let me just think here. A bunch of old ladies would be this Namu. The Namu is also used for the ending for the seasons, and Also, the namu is used for the end of one of the salmon. We have a word for kayik namu is I'm guessing it's the interpretation of the season where those salmon come up. Is that was what that word was. So a lot of times it's for a group of people, there's no more um, yeah, that's what all I can say on that.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, these are the words for the happy birthday that's in Ktunaxa. So it goes, it's the same tune as the ordinary happy birthday, but it says Gisok akinmetitnes ninko Gisok akinmetitnes ninko Gisok akinmetitnes, and then the name goes in there. Dear, whoever, dear Charlie, Gisok akinmetitnes ninko. So Gisok and Akinmetitnes is birthday Ninko, you. Happy birthday you is what that says. So you want to try that? You want to speak it first and then sing it?
I think the singing helps get the rhythm.
Okay. So it's
Oh,
There's
Ninko.
He's talking
Ninko. Dear Charlie.
He's talking
My dog
so
just
that's good.
flinched.
Yeah, so that's the birthday song that they interpreted, and people are using that now, like some of our members. And it's sort of a fun way to get the language out there. So that's it's pretty good that way, where the people sing it and at least they know a little bit of the Ktunaxa language.
Sorry,
So,
Alfred, can you say that phrase one more time for me, please? The happy
one?
birthday. There's this happy birthday.
Okay. Yeah. It's Gisok Akinmetitnes Ninko. Gisok Akinmetitnes Ninko.
Kisug akinminitnes
Akin Ninko.
sukani.
Alfred, can I share something?
Yeah.
It was just after COVID had started, and one of our knowledge holders and language speakers, I had seen one of the most powerful things that I saw was one of those birthday parades, and it went by Dorothy's house, and they all went by all these cars, and they went by and then they stopped, and someone was videoing from outside and her daughter was videoing from inside. And everybody sang Kisuk Akin Matitness to Dorothy, who was very humble. And I thought how powerful. We minimize how important just having a simple song sung to you and honoring your day, but little do we put when it doesn't occur. And then COVID having that occur, that this huge gathering of people were singing in her language that was meant to be stolen and destroyed. And it was just to me, a small victory. It wasn't accomplished. You didn't achieve your task. And we will sing in Ktunaxa to our cherished elders. Tahas.
Yeah, and she had she was the Ktunaxa language teacher for years and years and years, and she struggled to get that off the ground because the interest wasn't there, and it would waver out. Like it would go for usually the longevity of a language course every year was about 3 months to 3.5 months. And then after that, it petered right out because people weren't getting it. They weren't getting that solid grasp of the language. And so like that's been going on for years and years, like I say, 40 years, to where we finally got to where we're at with this group and with the other group, with my Tuesday night group. And the I'm gonna say the energy that it's creating is sort of getting people sort of looking at, they're missing something. They're feeling like they're missing out on something, which is exactly what we wanted to do. But when we started our Tuesday night group, it was basically a rebellious experiment, I'd call it, because nobody had taught the language like I was teaching it, and I wasn't following any rules. I sort of laugh at rules. People try to put them into put the square peg into a round circle and put a triangle into a circle. And I, I just said, there is no rules in our Ktunaxa language, because every sound that is made meant something. And the way it was said meant something. And sometimes those words or those sounds were used meant different things if they were used in a different context. So, it was a matter of looking through the language, and that's what's happened. And I think a lot of our this group here, by having like the Ktunaxa in the classrooms, and the students really interested in it, just learning some phrases, by memory. But the other group is learning it by piece by piece by piece. Like they know that when they look at Akin Matitness, okay, where you guys are just looking at it as one word, the Tuesday group is looking at it as and then kin, and we haven't, the prefix kin is a very hard one to decipher. I haven't been able to decipher that yet. So mitit is date. Nis is an ending for ownership, which means it's yours. And then that's how they're looking at the language. So they remember akin mitit nis ninko. So they're looking at it in a totally different way. So that's been the biggest, I think, change that we did was I went and I broke up all the different words into little pieces where people would learn, and to show the complexity of the language, there's one word for spilling a liquid. You know, if you spill your cup of tea or a cup of coffee, there's one word, one way of saying that, and a different way of saying, oh, I spilled the flour or some kind of dry ingredient. There's two different ways of saying that. So, and it's quite a interesting and language, and trying to figure a way of getting, you know, let's say a group like your group to make those distinguish between those two. It's pretty hard. And so I have a lot of times I have to think about a lot of stuff, and the language is in my mind like every day. And I come up with all these crazy ways of teaching. So that's why I say we're such a rebellious group, but it's working. So that's all it cares. That's all I care, as long as it's working. Okay, so let's say that, sing that once more. Okay.
We need you to count us in.
Okay. Okay, I'll do it. Okay, as casa.
Kisuk
Kesuk akin maditnis ninku. Kesuk akin maditnis ninku. Kesuk akin magitnis. Ishari.
Kisuk
Kesuk akin maditnis ninku.
Okay,
Good. We
good.
can make it.
I mean, that was something. It was something.
Did the dog groan again?
He literally just like went up the other end of the sofa. Like, I don't like that one bit. So,
Okay, one of the other things that we had was, how old are you? Kin aksan maktik means how old are you? Kin, kin.
That might be on the next slide.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Yep. Okay.
should I go there or
Go to
am
the
I?
next slide. Go to the next slide. There we go. So nene ka kinmitit now san mayitki. So what do you think that says?
Did you enjoy your day?
No. We are still on the birthday theme. Hint.
When's your
Have a happy
birthday?
birthday.
Mitit is the day of the month. Which day of the month?
Yeah. Okay, so ga is my. Okay, ga indicates my.
It's my birthday today.
Ini ka kinmitit nausanitki.
Can you say the last word again? Nausaniyitki.
Miyitki. Nausaniyitki. That means today.
Yitki.
Can you break that down again, Alfred? Nasanmietki is today. Mitit is the date. Ni.
Ka nini is it is ini it is. One thing we're teaching the Ktunaxa language, the N with the apostrophe above it is really confusing because some of the groups in our tribe say use that a lot, nini, where it takes away from the real verb inni, which is it is. So I would say imi ga. Ga indicates my or means my. Genitet.
Genitet.
So if you look back at, let's go back to the back slide. So you see Akinmitit, that's birthday.
Genitet.
Is birthday, and this is your birthday. So okay, go back to the other slide. So you'll see Akinmitit. So we dropped the this, and we're not talking about your birthday, we're talking about my birthday. Ka kinmitit. Ini ka kinmitit nausaniyitki. It is my birthday today. So do you see that? See the connection between the kinmitit and the akinmitit? Nice. Yeah, okay. Ke kin aksan maktit. Kin, how old are you? Kin aksan maktit. How old are you? Joses, so for me, I'm going to tell you a funny story here. I'm not great in my numbers, right? In the language, in the Ktunaxa language, I don't use them that often. So it's not a priority for me to learn the numbers. So I was sort of thinking, okay, how am I going to say Joses with a son one Mactitney. I am 70 years old, right? So I'm looking at this sentence and then I'm writing it down on a piece of paper, and I was going to put it on. Someone asked from Bonner's Ferry asked me, how old are you in the language? So I was replying back to her, and I just about put in, I had to look up in my notes, and I just about wrote Joses with a son, wuxa-Þ��a, which meant I was 700 years old. So I looked at it and I thought, wait a minute, that's way too much. And then I thought I better change it, so I corrected it. I had too many woos in there. It's a good thing I caught it because I would have felt foolish. I would have said I was 700 years old, but I had a see, when you make mistakes like that, you got to be very quick with your brain. If I would have done that and would have made that mistake, I would have said that's in Bible years. In Bible years, all of the old in the Old Testament, they would have went like 300 years old, 700 years old. So that's what I would have said. So, but so in your personal examples, you guys would put in who says, whatever number you, whatever age you are, and then who says, see, for me, it was a son one Maktitni. So you put your number, your age in there, and then Maktitni, saying that I am so many years old. Okay, what was the homework for, I thought we had homework last week.
Yep, they were supposed to write out their birth dates and share them with us.
For the birth dates. Okay. Anybody did the homework?
I have to stop
You
share
can
for 1
read it.
second.
Yeah.
There were a few phrases. Were we supposed to say all of them?
I think it was just for your whatever Mara said, birth date, I think.
Hey,
So your birth date, let's break it down first. So it's going to be not your age, but your birth date. So your birth date is going to be ending not in May, but the date is going to end in Mitit. So the number, let's say if your birthday is on the 14th, it sa Hatan Mitit, and then the months. Okay, do you want to go back to the months? One, yeah, right there. So there's a month.
Can you pronounce March again for me, please?
Thick oak. Thick oak. Thick oak.
Okay. I will mitit sefuk.
I will.
mitit sefuk.
Okay. Yeah.
Sefuk.
Ktunaxa chanmitit kuku.
Okay. It sa Hatan.
Ha cha, mitit, kuku, kuku.
Yeah, so you put an N on the end of Hachan. Hachan,
Hachan,
Yeah.
mitit.
mitit.
Wuxa-Þ�a kan mit ni uthuma natunik
Utumi.
utumi natunik.
So the date again is Hachan mitit or
Wuxa-Þ�a kan mit in it. No, I did that wrong. Sorry. Wuxa-Þ�a, and then you
Wus-
say kan mit it ni. Do you need to say
No.
that?
no, you would say that first. Ga mitit ni, my birthday. Inni ha Wuxa-TA mitit, and then it wasn't Osumi,
Usumi.
it was
Natunik.
oh, it was Osumi. Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Can you say that again? So it's Ga Matitne?
Mm, Ga Gakin mitit. Gakin mitit. So I'll go back to the next slide again.
Yeah.
Let's go back to so people can write it down.
I had mine all written down just as a date. I didn't have the birthday
Yeah.
part. Now I'm
Yeah,
messed
me
up.
too.
There it is.
Gakin Mitit.
Gakin mitit, and then you're gonna put inni after Gakin mitit, so that nini is gonna move over to in front of Nausaniti. Gakin mitit inni, and then your date and the month, and that's good enough. So Gakin mitit inni,
Gakin Mitit Ine. Iowa Mitit Ishkok. I can't do that.
the month.
March.
Oh, okay.
Ishkok. Ishkok.
Yeah,
Ishkok.
Shikuk.
Shikok.
If you put your
Shikok.
tip of your tongue, put the tip of your tongue to the base of your bottom teeth. Okay, you've got that? And then just go, sa, say the,
Fa.
but leave your tongue there. Sa,
Fa. Fa.
there you go.
Fa. Fakok.
Shikuk. But I'll take
Shik.
sakuk. Shikuk.
Shikok.
Say, yeah,
Shikok.
shikuk. Yep.
Shikok.
Good.
Sukni.
Can I try mine?
Yep.
Ka kin mitit ini. I will sa katsa zikok. Natanik.
Good.
Okay, I'm ready. Gakin mishlit ini I wumsa gatsa nukunatanik.
Gakin mitit. Gakin mitit. You put a bar down in there. Gakin mitit.
Gakin mitit.
Yeah.
Sukni.
I'll go next. Kakin mitit ini itwum sha in misa mitit nistamu.
Okay, good.
I'll go. Gakin mitit ini nestamu iwum sla hatten mitit. I meant mitit.
Yeah, so you put the date first and then the months.
Oh, the month after?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just to clarify, Alfred, if we say Gargin mitit ini, I will. Do we put the mitit in again before the month, or is the mitit after Gargin?
The word, what is the mitit in the first word?
Day.
What is? Yeah, but what
It's my
does that
birthday.
mitit? Yeah, your birthday. So the first mitit goes with your birthday. Kakin mitit, my birthday is, and then you give the date.
The something date of March. Okay, so the
Yeah.
mitit is
Yeah.
twice. Okay, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
it's twice, yeah.
Thank you. Sukni.
Ga mitit nini wuxa-Þ�a mitit ufumi
Okay.
ufumi
Natanik. Yeah,
Natanik.
Natanik.
ufumi natunik.
Yeah, and it's optional to say Natanik because when you say, you know, Osome, you already have given that impression you're talking about a month.
Kaken mitit ini uki mitit kukus pumu.
The date again.
Uki.
Oh, okay, holy crow, that's a good one. That's a nice, easy one to say instead of Iwam wuxa-Þ�a.
That's true.
Okay, next. Sorry, Sarah.
Gagin mitit iwum sayeko naktas suk.
Naktasuk. So was that everybody now?
No, I haven't gone yet.
Okay.
Still a few to go.
Okay. Gakin mitit ine iwumsa wuxa mitit kopapik.
Okay, yep. Good.
You haven't actually
Elsa.
translated the date, so I wonder whether are we actually good enough?
I didn't
Are
say
you
the
under-
first part, so I cheated. I just said my date and month.
No,
Do I
I
need
just
to say
wonder
the
if
whole thing?
No, I wonder if Alfred is actually getting us. Are you understanding our dates, Alfred, or are you just nodding and smiling just to placate us?
I never just nod and smile.
That's good.
Okay, I feel better now.
I'm hearing it. I'm very aware of the different places people are in the sounding of the sounds and that. So I am, yeah, they're pretty good. But then it'll only improve with time, you know. So this is a good sort of a test to see where everybody is. And I always say I haven't found any yet in this group, I don't think. But I call them the cookins or the ravens. You know how ravens fly around and they come, they sit up on top, and they're just there waiting to after you leave, if you're doing some kind of butchering, they're sitting there waiting to leave. I call them cookings. Those are the people in our sessions that are sitting in the background. They're not saying a word. And you don't know whether they're or not. So I call them the ravens, the cookings. So I don't think we have any in this group. But when we had the big Tuesday night group, we had a lot of them. And then I tried and get the cookings to participate. So yeah, so that's good. Anybody else?
I'll go. I might be a raven though. I feel like I'm missing something, but I'll just give it a try. Gakin mit it, I woo mit it, natasuk.
Naktasuk. The
Natasuk.
only thing the only thing you're missing is inni. It is. My birthday is inni.
Okay, thank you.
Inni. Yep.
Okay, I'll give it a go. Gakin metet inni, wistasha metet naktasuk.
Yeah, good. Yeah, so these sort of little exercises and that just gets you to think. I always say use a Ktunaxa mind because the layout of the dates and that are different than in English. So you have to switch your mind to a Ktunaxa way of thinking. And it also teaches you to start creating sentences, like fluid sentences. It'll be slow at first, hard to say, but yeah, that's good. I'm pretty pleased with that.
Alfred, I think I missed something. What does the wuxa-Þ�a? It's how old you are. What's the wuxa-Þ�a? The verb.
Who says Makdate is basically the year, how many years you have.
How many years you have?
So Kin Aksan Makdate, how old are you, is basically what it says. Aksan means how many. You, how many years?
And that's where my problem was, because I was putting it in, instead of my Ktunaxa brain, my English brain, how old are you? Was the question I wrote under that, when the question is actually you, how many years?
Yeah, yeah.
Kisuk.
Is the verb having years or being years?
Basically being years. Kin Aksan means how many. Makdate. So the mak, M-A-K, comes from makot, which means yours, and then makdit, the T-I-T ending, basically, let me just say, says having. That's my interpretation of that, because the dit, I never really did look into that sound in the in the language. But that's really well what I'm seeing. Ktunaxa mak dit, and what when I look into a ending like that, what I have to do is I have to go to different uses of that dit in order to understand it. So right now I can't find any other words that that have that right now. So
Thanks for thinking about it. I thought it was interesting just because in English, we use like the verb to be, like I am this many years old, but in French, we would say j'ai, like I have this many years. And so I was just curious, because we sort of tend to use these different ways of being years or having years in different languages. I was curious how it might be into.
yeah, I'll have to ask the older people about that. But a lot of times they just know the language off so hard, they don't even think about it. They don't break it down. So a lot of times I feel I'm really intruding on them and asking them, what are you really, what are we really saying? Place names, they understand. When I ask about place names, I'm not very good at place names or names. And so I have to ask them, let's say the word for Fairmont in our language means the little rock sticking out of the woods, which would be, I would think, looking back at, what did they see? It would be the rock from the hot water, how that builds up, coming out of the woods. That's what that's called up there. So I thought it was quite interesting because, by saying the word didn't make any sense to me because there were so many different ideas in that word. So, like the word for wood, the woods or forest wasn't even in there. So yeah, it's amazing how the older people can make sense of an old word. And that's what I'm hoping to get to, and then be able to hand that down to the learners so they can really look at a word and really see. Place names are really hard. And even people names are really hard. So okay, there's a question. Is there a phrase for I am learning? Who says my brain is going to, like the English translation would be, I am knowing something. They will go to the past tense. wuxa-Þ��a. And then I have to think of an ending. So that, yeah, horses. I would say horses opgene. I am understanding horses opgene.
How might you spell that?
Glottal U P X M I. I should be using the chat here too. I should. Yeah, so I put it in the chat. So
Alfred, if I may, I have a sentence for what were you taught today?
okay,
Kapsin ken itki sis nasamietki. I don't have the proper keyboard, but I'll put that in the chat if that's okay with Alfred.
yeah,
Sukni.
Actually, that's the upcha is on my my first voices for what did you learn today? Is Gapsin kin upcha nausan meyitki.
so that was translated to what did you learn?
Yes. What did you learn today?
Okay. Now, what Mara is going to be putting on the chat, are you putting on the chat, Mara?
Hey.
Or on a, okay,
Alfred, could
Yep.
you add Pamek? Ukni? Who says Pamek? Ukni?
yeah. That means if you,
I had kinda in my head. It's a short form of kind of. So.
yeah, so you're not 100%, but you're getting there. Yeah, so PAMIC means, yeah, you're not quite there, but you're starting to understand it a little bit more. Okay. Kapsin kin it kiktis nausaniti. What were you taught today? So the teachers, the word for teacher is Mary, you can put that on there. Capital or K, glottal K, it, kick, Jaska, ending Jaska. Hard K, I, T, K, I, long, and then K, send sign, A, L, K, A. It, kick, or it, kick, Jaska is a teacher.
I may have messed up Saska. Saska.
No, that's good.
That L is throwing me off.
Yeah, so because we don't have the Ktunaxa font, it's a hard K, which is a K with the apostrophe on top of it. And then ITKI with the long I or the raised dot, a period halfway up on the belly of the I, beside the I, and then K, and then cent sign A Bardell KA. And that's the word for teacher. And to teach would be it gig cent sign IT, it gig it would be to teach. Be it gig cent sign I glottal stop T, it gigged it. It gigged it means to teach. Do you want me to put that in the I'll do that here. Oh,
I got it.
okay, good. So Ktunaxa is to a teacher, and then to teach is it it.
I am doing it. My screen's just freezing.
Boy. So you guys are now dipping you're up to your knees in the water in the language. Before you guys were just putting your toes in a little bit and staying in shallow water. Now you guys are getting a little bit deeper into the language and how it operates, where my Tuesday group has to learn all this. Like the verb is it kicked to teach, to show someone something. And then from that verb, then you have got the person doing it has a specific ending to it, the Ktunaxa. If you're doing the teaching, to teach it is the KI cent sign, gates ending. So it, gate, or cent sign IT. So it just sort of a little bit of a little deeper dive into the language. So any other questions?
I think, yeah, there's lots of things to absorb from this lesson. And I think people are working on the homework already. Monica said for food, pizza, I think sandwiches, that sort of thing.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. You send those to Mara and then we can work at that.
Beautiful. It's 7:40, so or 8:40 for most of you.
Yeah, 8:40. Okay, so I will see you guys all next week. I can make my supper now. I was, we had a community activity of cutting up an elk today. And so I wasn't going to be involved in that. I was just going to stay in the back and wasn't even going to show up till late. But the organizer texted me and she said they were doing that. So I got there. I ended up teaching some of the more stuff there. And 6 o'clock, I'm sitting there cutting up some meat and I'm thinking, oh, I got to get back home so I'm there for the language. So I'm going to make my supper now.
That's late.
So have a good
Sukini
week
was-
and we'll see you next
He's
Okay.
so,
So
he's so
grateful.
quiet. He's
Yeah, so quiet.
week. Quiet.
Kiitos, quiet, Kapiniskis.
He's so quiet.
Thank you again, Jade. Have a great night.
Thank you, Mara. Good night.